yarny friends. It's Tuesday, it's snowing, and it's time for Coffee and Crochet with Sarah. I do want to apologize a little bit. I've got a little bit of a scratchy throat and a little bit of a runny nose. I think this weather going back and forth from warm to cold is just messing a little with my sinuses. So if I sniff a little or clear my throat, just ignore it. We'll go right on going. Well, I've got a really big, I was going to say a really big show. I've got a really big video for you today. We got lots of fun things to do. And I just noticed they moved my, on Facebook, they moved it over to the right where it was on the left. And I was looking for all of your comments, and then all of a sudden I saw them popping in on the other side. There's always something new with Facebook. So, just in case you don't know, we do our live video every Tuesday, unless something comes up, 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And I was just talking or texting with my friend Tina Louise on Instagram, and she put that it's 11:30 at her time. And I thought, you know what? I need to get together a chart that has all the times on it so that you know what time to pop in your time zone. I put that on my notes so that I can do that. All right, so I see a lot of you popping in. Good morning. Like I said, I have a little bit of a scratchy throat, a little bit of a runny nose. Don't worry about it. It's this crazy weather. All right, let's clink in. Clinkety, clinkety, clink, clink, clink on a great big happy day. All right, now, before we get started, let me give you a rundown of what we're going to do. I have a shout out. I have an announcement for the winner for the April giveaway. I have a little demo I'm going to do to answer a question. I've got some new yarns, and then we'll talk about all the new patterns and videos. So we got a lot to talk about. Are you ready? As I always say, buckle up, Buttercup. We got a lot to do. So the first thing I want to do is do my shout out. And I've been having so much fun learning about lots of other crochet and yarn related webcasts, broadcasts, podcasts, whatever you call them, on YouTube. And it's been a bunch of fun. This week's shout out goes to, and I love the name of her podcast. It's called Yarn Joy Podcast YouTube channel. I saw that she was doing a video answering 10 questions, I think. And on the back wall, it said Yarn Joy. What else brings us so much joy than yarn? She had me hooked from the minute I saw that on the back of her wall. She is a delightful lady. I had so much fun going through and watching her videos. She's just full of life and love. Loves yarn, obviously. Yarn Joy. And so I want you all to pop over there. I'm going to put the link to her YouTube channel underneath the video. I already posted it to my Facebook page. You'll be able to find it super easy. Or just go to YouTube and put in Yarn Joy Podcast. And I made sure I said it right because I said last week's wrong. Oh well. That's Yarn Joy Podcast YouTube channel. She's just a delightful lady. I had so much fun watching her videos. All right. I have to tell you the funniest thing. I was getting ready to hit the go live button, and I looked over here in this corner, and I thought there was an animal sitting over there. If you look over there, I've got a puzzle, and it's got a cat on the front of it. I thought, what in the world? What animal is that? I actually thought it was a bunny because we have bunnies outside. It was the funniest thing. Okay, back on schedule. Go over and watch Yarn Joy's videos. Okay, I bet you're excited to find out who the winner of the April giveaway is. It was kind of funny when this name came up because I really like her name. All right, just a quick recap. Let me grab my bag here that's got the stuff in it. You're getting 3 skeins of the impeccable yarn. You're getting the, of course, Coffee and Crochet with Sara bag. And you're also getting the kit with the bunny in it. All right. Are you ready? The That was kind of weird timing, wasn't it? I was going to say ba-bump chink, but that's for a silly joke. All right, the winner of the April giveaway is, let me look at my notes. Her name is Sara Benson, and she spells her Sara with an H. Sarah, and the last name is Benson. Sara Benson. Congratulations! Woo! I wish I had a bunch of clapping hands. Okay, now remember, never, ever, 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 ever put your email address or your shipping address in a comment anywhere. All right? Contact me. Either go underneath the YouTube video where it says www.poshpoochdesigns.com, hit that link, and then hit the contact. It'll shoot me an email. Or you can contact me through the Posh Pooch Designs Facebook page and shoot me a message. And if you want to have the tracking number on your package, I'll need your email address. If you don't care about that, then I don't. I really like to give you the tracking address or the tracking, because when there have been times when it's been a little bit slow, we had some issues with when we did at Christmas. And when I took it to the post office, they put it under the wrong heading and it ended up coming back to me. And then I had to send it again. So yeah, we don't want that to happen. All right. So congratulations, Sara Benson. Contact me either one of those two ways. Send me your shipping address and your email address if you want to track your package. All right. Don't you love her name? I do. All righty. Now, I'm looking farther over because they moved it back over on to the other side. It was on that side, then they moved it to this side. Now they moved it back to the other side. And I know you probably don't know what I'm talking about unless you do live videos. Okay, now we're going to answer a question. Let me grab some quick lemon water. It was kind of interesting. I got this question and then I got two other people send in the same question. And I like it when that happens because that tells me it's important. And of course, every question that we have is important to me. All right, so the question was, I'm going to read it because this is the way that the third person, or the first person, sorry, sent it to me. When does chain 3 count as a stitch? And where do we place our first stitch when it does? All right, so I've got a little demo ready for you over here. We're going to click down to this other camera. And this is a question I hadn't gotten in a long time, but it is a really good question. So what I've got here is I've just got, some row of double crochets. This is just medium weight number 4 worsted weight acrylic yarn and my eye hook, 5.5 millimeter. All right, so I have a row of double crochets and I chained 3. Now, the pattern will tell you, if it doesn't say it in the line or the row or the round, look up above in the pattern where it says notes. And under it says notes, it'll tell you, chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Chain 2 counts as a half double crochet. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet. It'll tell you those things. And depending on the stitch, sometimes it does count and sometimes it doesn't. So be sure and check those notes if you're if you're reading a written pattern. If you're watching a video, I always try to tell you and show you what to do. All right, so your chain 3 counts as a double crochet if it says so in the pattern. All right, so if your chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, you don't double crochet in the first double crochet because, again, your chain 3 counts as your first. And so you'll yarn over and you'll go into the next or the second double crochet and stitch your double crochet. And then you'll continue on across your row. Now, if you're unsure and the pattern doesn't tell you, check your stitch counts. All right, so for instance, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 because that chain 3 counted as a double crochet. So I have 10 double crochets. Well, in row 2, if it says it counts, and then it gives you a count of 10 double crochets, that's another hint that tells you that chain 3 counted as your first double crochet. A lot of times it doesn't if they want you to increase. For instance, maybe they want you to increase by 1 stitch. So they'll say your chain 3 does not count and stitch a double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 3 or in the first stitch. And that's going to give you an increase, because if you put 1 in that same stitch as your chain 3 and then you stitch 1 in each across, you're going to end up with 11 stitches because you have an extra one because your chain 3 counted as a stitch. And this is something that can get you in trouble with your stitch counts if you don't pay attention to that. Another way it gets you in trouble is if you're stitching in the round and you're doing a hat. Let's say you're doing 20 double crochets, join to the first double crochet and chain 3. Well, make sure you join to the first double crochet or chain 3, whichever one the pattern calls for, because this is where you can get yourself in trouble with your stitch counts. So check those notes in your pattern, whether it states whether your stitch, I rolled over a pillow. I'm going to show you those in a second. That one might be a little squished. Anywho, always check your stitch counts and always check those notes. And when you're watching one of my videos, I almost always, unless I forget, which I have, I am human, forget to tell you, but the stitch count also will help you. You know, like on this one we did down here, if you stitched in that same stitch as your chain 3, you're going to end up with an extra stitch, and it's going to throw off your stitch count. All right? So it seems like a simple question, but it is very important to make sure you keep on your stitch count. Because if there's, like, say, a shell pattern or something in the next row, it's going to be off. All right? All right, so that was our question of the week. All right, now I want to show you some new yarns that I found at Michael's. These are a Michael's exclusive. It's called Echo Brights, and that tag right there says limited time only. And I'm going to put these under the camera over here so you can see the labels. It's really important to see these labels. What these are they're made from recycled plastic. And it's a limited time only, Echo Brights, loops and threads. And I bought 2. I got a gray and a blue. And I have plans to make a shopping bag out of these. But as I was messing with them, this blue one, I noticed that it's not real sturdy. And also, it's very splitty. What it is it's a whole bunch of thin threads wound together, and it's not wound real tight. And so I'm probably not going to make a bag out of these. I don't think it's going to be sturdy enough. I really like the idea of these being recycled from plastic. I like that idea. Okay? But I'm a little concerned about it being very strong. So I might make something else, maybe a hat and scarf or something with it, and not a shopping bag. I'll just have to mess around with it some more and see. Now, this is a limited time only, and 255 yards, 5.3 ounces, 236 meters, and 150 grams. And so you've got quite a bit of yarn on there. 5.3 ounces is quite a bit. And where'd it go? I was going to see where there it is. They're calling it a bulky 5, and that's another thing that I think probably isn't true to size, because let me show you. Here's this green one. This is just your basic worsted weight Red Heart Super Saver, and look at this string on this one. They look pretty much the same. And so I don't know why they categorized it a 5. I think it might be because it's a little bit fuzzy. But I think when it comes to crochet hook, you probably want to go more with one you would use on your medium weight number 4. Now, I'm not telling you not to get this yarn. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I want you to get it. I want you to try it And then you can tell me what you think as well. It's very soft. It almost feels like a flannel cotton, but it's not. It's 100%, where did it go? 100% recycled polyester. Okay, and it's really soft. You get a bunch on there, but it's, in my opinion, it's not real sturdy. And when a yarn is not real sturdy, that means it's not going to hold its shape real well. And I bought those two colors. I thought they'd be great to make a shopping bag, actually a couple of shopping bags, and for me to take to the farmer's market. Our farmer's market is getting ready to open. I'm very excited. Last year, they, with what was going on, they didn't open. They opened it, but it was a little bit different. And anyway, but they're going to open it this year, and I'm really excited about that. I love to go down there and get the fresh fruits and vegetables, but we have a great one here in our town, and they sell all kinds of things, plants and just everything you can think of, animal products, and just all kinds of neat things. And I really like going down there. So I thought I need to make me a couple of new bags, and I'm just not comfortable with making them out of that particular yarn. So you're gonna have to, and it is. Someone says it's a bit pricey. It is. $7.99 a skein is a little bit pricey, but the process, and something that people don't realize, is the process to recycle something is very expensive. That is something that we forget sometimes. The process, not just what it's made out of, is what makes it expensive. All right, and I know this is really important to use recycled products. And so I do have a pattern coming out tomorrow that's a drawstring bag. It's super cute, and I made it in Earth Day colors. It's bright blue, bright green, and snowy white. It's a drawstring bag, and then I made little pom-poms that look like the earth. It's just super cute, and I'm going to show you how to do that tomorrow. The test all came back. It's super easy. You're really going to like it. And I thought this would probably be good for that because I'm using a medium weight number 4 yarn. This yarn will probably be good for that, but I'm just not comfortable making a bag out of it. Maybe one of you can try it and let me know what you think. And it might be it's a little sturdier than I think. It just, messing around with it, I just didn't feel like it was. All right. But again, if we can, we need to try to use recycled. And I love the way that they're doing with some of the recycled things, making fun things that we love out of them. All right. So that's the yarn I wanted to show you. And now I'm going to show you what we did this week at Posh Pooch Designs. All right. One of the things that we did, let me grab these. I ran over my pillow here. This is the pillow that I made originally. It's a neck pillow. This tab is not for putting around your neck. It's for hanging it on your luggage or your purse or something. But I originally made this actually for me. When I had my thyroid surgery, I couldn't tilt my head back because I ended up having to go in and have a second surgery. And so I used this like this so that I could lean my head back and not have it go too far back. And I could still crochet. But it's actually a travel neck pillow. And it has a little pocket to put in your earbuds or whatever you want when you're traveling. Nowadays it's probably, I had iPod in mine so I could listen to music, but I don't think people even use those anymore. I don't know. So it's all on your phone, and that pocket's not big enough for your phone. But either way, it's a great neck pillow. Well, a friend of mine said, well, what about the kiddos? And I said, okay, I'll make a smaller one. So I made another one that's a little bit smaller. And you'll notice I don't have the tab across for the button. And that's because for the children's size, I just don't think it's super safe to have that string across there, okay? If you want to make like a loop or something up on the top so they can hook it on their suitcase or their bag or whatever so they don't lose it, that's fine too, but I just don't recommend putting this strap across. And this one's pretty worn out because it's been through the laundry many times. All right, because I always take it with me, and I love it. I love it. It works great in the car. It works great on the plane. It works great anywhere you go. I use it in my living room sometimes. There's one of my hairs came off on it. But we made it in a smaller size. And so on the video, I give you both the... Are you still there? It just did a real weird clicky thing. Is everybody still there? Okay, so um, I made it in 2 sizes, and so I put it on the video in both sizes, and we updated the video and the crochet pattern, so you can find both sizes there. All right. We also did 2 different things. We did a scrubby and we did a washcloth. All right, so we made these flower scrubbies, and you can also see some behind my neck where I hung some up because they're super cool, and you can make them out of the scrub it yarn. And I wanted to show you, I bought a bunch of these. These were on sale for $3. They're normally $4.29, and so I got a whole bunch of colors, and I made a whole bunch of these scrubbies, and you can use them like I've got them hanging up behind me. They're great scrubbies, cleaning the dishes. And if you don't have this particular yarn, the Scrub It yarn from Yarn Bee, this is a Hobby Lobby exclusive. If you don't have this or can't find it, you can use 1 strand of cotton and 1 strand of the regular scrubby yarn, hold them together, and you can still make these flowers, okay? They're super fun to make, and they make great gifts. If you're giving somebody, say, a housewarming party, or they just got married and you want to give them a bunch of towels and stuff, include a couple of these. They're fun, and they work great, and they're just cheerful. I always say if you have a cheerful washcloth or a cheerful scrubby, it makes cleaning the dishes that much better, right? All righty. Okay, so the other thing we did yesterday was our Stitch of the Month. And we made the Alpine Washcloth with this fun little trim. And they're super fun to make and super easy. And I love that they have the texture. They're great for doing the dishes. They're great for cleaning the bathroom. They're even great for you when you're taking a bath or washing your face. And I gave you the multiples so you can make it as big as you want to. All right. And these are the ones that I made. I made these all out of cotton. And our Stitch of the Month was the Alpine Stitch. All right. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I'm looking at my time. I'm getting close to being out of time. And the last thing I really want to say is just thank you. And I hope that we have a lot of fun on our Coffee and Crochet with Sara every week. I have a lot of fun. I'm a little disappointed that I can't see your names. The screen changed, and so I can't see your names. But I'm glad you're all with me. I'm glad you all watch, and I'm glad you all do the patterns and have fun. And one of the things that I have really enjoyed lately is getting to know some of the other yarn designers or yarn podcasters or anybody out there that loves yarn. I'm just really having a good time getting to know a lot of the other YouTubers out there that do what I do. And so I really encourage you to go out and get to know some of those that maybe have smaller YouTube channels, maybe haven't been doing it as long. There's a lot of really good yarn content out there. A lot of really good people who are crocheting and designing things. And not just crochet, there are a lot of really great crafters out there. And I've had so much fun. I try to take an hour every day and go and pick a couple of YouTube channels that I haven't watched or haven't watched recently and watch them and get to know what they're doing. And like when I found this one, Yarn Joy Podcast, she was so delightful in her videos. She literally loves what she's doing, and it shows by how she talks about it and everything that she's doing. You can tell she loves the people that she's with, and I feel the same way. I feel like that I have this amazing yarn community, crochet community going through YouTube and through Facebook. And when I see your names pop up and I recognize them, it just blesses my heart. And then when I see new names that I don't recognize and you say, this is my first time here, I love that too. And so I really encourage you also. I get questions a lot about what patterns that I have. If you go to my Facebook page, you can click those playlists. And in those playlists are categories of lots of different patterns that I have done. And you can look through those and see Like I have one for toys. I have one for baby stuff. I have hats and headbands, scarves, blankets, things like that that you might be looking for more specifically. Also, at the top of YouTube, there's a bar that says search. You can just put in my name, put in Sara Sach scarves or Sara Sach, I don't know, can't think of something offhand. Sara Sach washcloths, something that you're searching for. And you can find it that way as well. And so I've done a ton of videos and there's a ton out there. And I love it when you find them and you make them and you, I got hair on my face. Anywho, yeah, I just really, really appreciate you all. And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I say this every week. I can't do any of this without all of you. I can't. You guys are what makes my channel a success. So thank you, and I'll see you next week.